Just then, judge block a provision for using items found in backpack. Yeah, chat, a lot of the news are saying this, chat, and I cannot give it a buck. I think they're odd. I think the news are odd. I think being impartial is always important, right? And if you want to complain about the mediatization of these cases or whatever, they'll report accurately. Okay. The facts are there was a bunch of shit that happened. Okay. One, they said yeah, those wouldn't be admissible as and the question at McDonald's, but the gun and the notepad and shit like that are gonna be admissible or whatever. And these are all happening at the same time. These are all being said at the same time. But they only report about the W for him or whatever. And I think that's just weird. I think it's an odd thing to do. That's just my personal. It's why the mainstream media is shit, because they're just weird. Like no people are gonna celebrate this shit, whatever, right? So they just show the W, whatever, so people celebrate. I think it's odd. Regardless of what you think about it, I think it's just odd. Breaking news live. Oh my God, ABC News! I love ABC News.
Hi, I'm Diane Macedo. Let's get right to breaking news. A New York judge is ruling to limit the evidence allowed in the state case against the United Healthcare CEO murder suspect. When police arrested him, they seized evidence from his backpack, including the alleged murder weapon and writings investigators say could be considered a confession. But the defense argued the way the police obtained those items was unconstitutional. Now a judge has just decided what the jury will get to see. ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer and ABC's Peter Haralambous are here with the details on that ruling. So, Peter, it's all about where this evidence was seized, right? Nothing seized at the McDonald's is going to be allowed, but that still leaves a lot of stuff still in. So break this down for us. What's in and what's out?
That's exactly right. It's kind of a mixed bag here based on when they actually found the items in the backpack. And I think the big takeaway is the main items we were concerned about, the gun itself and the writings that prosecutors say amount to a confession. Those were actually found at the police station, a different part of the search. And the judge is saying that prosecutors can use that evidence. However, the judge is limiting some information, the actual items they took from his bag at the McDonald's, specifically.
I just know why in a big, and especially in the big profile case, why if they knew it was going to be him or whatever, right? Why would they be irresponsible enough to operate in a way that would have even anything invisible? I mean, these people are fucking braindead, no?
The gun magazine, his cell phone, passport, wallet, and a computer chip. All of those are now off the table, according to this judge. So a little bit of a win for Mangione there. But overall, this is a pretty good ruling for prosecutors here.
Brian, what makes some of this evidence admissible and some of it not?
All right, so we're all going to learn a bit about Fourth Amendment right here for a second, right?
Brian's taking us to school.
Let's start off from the idea that warrants are needed to search for things, right? But there are exceptions to not having a warrant. One of them would be exigent circumstance. And when we talked about the video that we saw of Luigi Mangione and that backpack separated from him as they were questioning it, the judge said there was no exigent circumstance to go through the backpack. You needed a warrant at that time. And we saw the video or the picture of Mangione at one table and the bag at another. And because of that separation in New York law, that means that those items are not coming in, specifically the magazine, cell phone, passport, wallet, and computer chip. Now, the judge is saying an inventory search, when law enforcement brings you to the station house or to the precinct, and they're looking through your bag to do an inventory and they're taking photos.
Because of that separation between him and the bag on the ground, though, I mean, that seems pretty stupid, no?
Back to do an inventory and taking photos.
That's just laughable.
That was done properly. That doesn't require a warrant because it's one of those exceptions as well. We want to kind of make sure when people get arrested, they don't have bombs.
Oh, guys. Oh, my God. An explosion over there? The RPG right there? It's not mine. What the f is that? I don't know what? An RPG right there? I mean, there's a separation of about 34 centimeters. It could never be my RPG. I mean, whose is it? What the f?
Inside of their belongings when they're getting processed. So things like the gun or the notebook or the photographs of the notebook, those are all coming in because those are a proper search procedure. And those are probably the more damning piece of evidence for the prosecution. So mixed bag overall, but I think the prosecution's a little bit happier with this ruling than maybe the defense.
And Brian, it's interesting. You say this won't only impact the trial, that it'll impact jury selection. Why?
So think about it this way, right? It's about the evidence that can be portrayed. We're clearly all talking about this. People are clearly watching ABC.
Then what would have been the correct way to proceed then? Would have been to do what? To leave it there and then ask the McDonald's to have security footage, and if he came in with it, then they get a warrant for it and they pick it up or some shit, or they turn it over and then they examine it. I mean, what else
that works in watching this? When jury selection happens and they ask the question of, well, did you hear about the magazine or the passport or other things that might have been evidence of flight or criminality? And they say, yeah, I heard about that. Well, did that impact your way you're going to decide this case? Yeah, it kind of does. Those people are off the case now. They won't be in the jury. We're going to find a much more narrow jury who hasn't heard a lot of the evidence so far.
That's so cap.
The ups and downs of there being a death penalty.
Every time we hear about this, like in the future, in like some documentary, Like, the jury's cooked. Like, bro, these people are like, yeah, we knew about it. Yeah, we knew. Like,
and it's going to come down to people who can either push all of that aside or have heard very little or nothing about this case.
Can you allow
they have to get people from fucking bumfuck nowhere, like Timbuktu, like Waitsfield.
Decision?
I mean, a good attorney has the ability to ask questions and say, hey, maybe this does impact you. Did you have a loved one that maybe had a health insurance scare or an issue that wasn't paid for? Did you hear about this piece of evidence that there was a death penalty and they take it off? Did you see the almost like Gotham-like march of Mangione into New York? You can ask the questions and try to get them.
Very interesting. Hey.